Tonight, hundreds of reports of downed trees.
This is serious. This is a full tree. It's not a bunch of bushes. I thought it was less damage until now I see the damage is worse.
As the cleanup from Wednesday's severe and sudden thunderstorm and high winds continues in neighborhoods where residents are already stressed and exhausted. An older woman pulled unresponsive from a popular swimming hole in Rockcliffe Park. Police say bystanders and emergency personnel quickly rushed into action and used CPR to get her breathing again. And busy in the city.
Old buildings, the old Parliament Hill, and then the modern city. It's an interesting mixture.
Tourism officials say Ottawa has been a popular destination this summer, with festivals and fireworks helping to pull people in. Good evening. 2 days after powerful winds tore through parts of the capital, the cleanup continues with fallen trees, damaged homes, and some residents still without power. And for those still recovering from the Canada Day floods, it's another setback in a summer of severe weather. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with more on this. Caitlin.
Patricia, the city says it's received more than 500 service requests for downed trees and branches, with much of the damage scattered across Wards 7, 8, and 9 in the West End. Today, crews were busy clearing debris, and that cleanup is expected to take some time. Piece by piece, it's coming down. Angela Donatucci says her neighbor had already applied for a permit to remove this tree, but Mother Nature had other plans.
I thought it was less damage until now I see the damage is worse.
The tree came crashing onto her roof during Wednesday night's storm, adding to the water damage she was already dealing with from the July 1st floods.
I'm already dealing with the insurance deductible, and yeah, it's a costly thing, and sadly it's a neighbor's tree.
And she's hardly alone. Winds topping more than 100 kilometers an hour, toppling trees and scattering branches across parts of Ottawa, keeping crews busy clearing debris.
Since the storm, we've been pretty steady, pulling trees off of houses, cleaning up storm damage, just helping out any of our clients in the neighborhoods.
And take a look at this. On this side of the street is debris left over from the Canada Day floods. And on this side of the street, more cleanup, this time from the wind. But it wasn't just the trees that caused the most damage.
About half our shingles just completely lifted off the roof.
Inside, Kathleen Wong and her family headed for the basement as water poured in.
Our whole attic kind of flooded, and the damage leaked all the way to the basement. So our house was just filled with buckets for a while.
The storm also knocking out power for thousands. In this City View neighborhood, Greg Lenton is still without electricity after a tree brought down this power line.
I've been in the dark for a lot of days, yes, that's for sure. And I have a generator going to keep the water out of my basement because we have sump pumps in this area and ditches.
And while the storm has passed, the cleanup is far from over. And we've learned today the city met and will begin a special debris collection starting Monday. Residents can submit a service request for trees that are too large for regular pickup. Residents can also contact the Canadian Red Cross for information about insurance claims and other supports. Patricia?
CTV's Caitlin Wilson reporting live for us tonight. Thank you. And CTV Ottawa does have extended coverage of the storm damage and cleanup. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, in Ottawa's East End, service delays continue on the O Train Line 1 after more damage was found in overhead wires. CTV's Natalie Van Roy is live with the latest on this. Natalie.
Well, Patricia, this has been an ongoing issue between St. Laurent and Blair stations for more than 24 hours after damage to the overhead wires was discovered on Thursday morning.
OC Transpo riders at St. Laurent Station dealing with travel headaches as repairs continue on the overhead catenary system.
How long? Maybe 30 minutes. Usually, it's very faster. Usually 10 minutes, 8 minutes.
Well, they have to do repairs. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
O Train Line 1 has been running a single track between St. Laurent and Blair stations after damage to the overhead system was discovered Thursday morning. All service was shut down between the stops Thursday at 8 p.m. to allow workers to continue construction overnight.
Take a while, but I think it's necessary to provide the service for get better service.
I think it's ridiculous. It should be easy, make your life easier.
The damage was supposed to be fixed by Friday, but that wasn't the case. Transit Services General Manager said in a memo to Council on Friday that additional components were found to be damaged and more time was required to safely complete the work.
It'll get fixed. It'll be okay.
R1 bus service is running between the impacted LRT stops. This latest disruption in a series of ongoing transit delays causing friction for frequent travelers.
In order for you to get early, you have to leave home very early all the time. So it's like, let's sleep.
The update comes as OC Transpo also unveils its new fall schedule, projecting an additional 65,000 trips a week into the downtown core as public servants go back to work 4 days a week and post-secondary students return to class.
Really good, really good. Of course, that will make my life way easier.
Now at around 8 p.m. tonight, Line 1 service will be adjusted to operate between Tunney's Pasture and Tremblay stations, and R1 bus service will operate between Herdman and Blair stations. Repair work is expected to continue throughout the overnight hours, and it's anticipated that service at all stations will be restored on Saturday. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Natalie Van Roy live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, as Natalie mentioned, OC Transpo has rolled out its fall schedule, including O-Train and bus route service changes. It comes as the transit service does get ready for that influx of public servants and students traveling in and out of the downtown core this fall. OC Transpo boss Rick Leary says there will be significant traffic improvements as part of OC Transpo's Customer First Action Plan. The changes include increasing weekday frequency on O-Train Line 1, adjusted run times on 30 bus routes, and added trips from park and rides to O-Train stations. The new fall schedule will begin on August 30th. And you may notice more trains on the O-Train East extension between Blair and Trim stations this month. OC Transpo is ramping up final readiness activities before getting started on trial running. The 21-day trial running period has been delayed as Rideau Transit Maintenance addresses a spalling issue. As part of preparations for the 21-day trial running period, OC Transpo says trains will operate along the full Line 1 between Tunney's Pasture and Trim stations to make sure all systems are integrated. Well, turning now to the latest trade negotiations between Canada and the U.S. with the tariff deadline looming, CTV News is learning new details about what is being put on the table between our two countries. Sources say a proposed framework so far does not include relief for one industry, while Americans want to see booze back on the shelves immediately. Here's more from CTV's Mike Couture.
CTV News has spoken to one source on the Canadian side and one on the American side, and both have knowledge of what is happening at the negotiating table. 8 of 10 provinces have removed U.S. booze from their store shelves in response to U.S. President Donald Trump's ongoing trade threats. According to our sources, it has been the largest irritant on the American side. We're also hearing that the U.S. wanted to see the removal of Canadian counter tariffs on American autos, which were implemented as a response to the American sectoral tariffs. All of this is coming as Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and lead trade negotiator Janice Charette have been briefing the Prime Minister's Advisory Committee on Canada-U.S. Economic Relations. The Canadian negotiators have also briefed their provincial counterparts. Now, ahead of that briefing, BC Premier David Eby clearly laid out that any deal must include a reduction of tariffs for lumber.
The softwood lumber sector is bigger than auto parts and steel combined in terms of the Canadian economy, and it needs to be front and center at the table.
Sources are also telling CTV News that Greer intends to put the framework of a deal on President Trump's desk as early as Monday. Greer has also told multiple officials that everything will hinge on the president's mood when he's presented with that proposal. Mike Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
And stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the Canada-U.S. trade negotiations. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News Channel. Well, here in the capital so far, it's been a strong summer for tourism. Initial numbers show that festivals and big events have helped draw crowds from across Canada and around the world, making our city a summer destination. CTV's Kimberly Johnson joins us live now with more on this. Kimberly.
Patricia, I spoke with many tourists today, some coming internationally, others coming from within Canada itself. I think what I heard the most is this is a bucket list visit for them. But while this has been a strong summer for visitors, the weather has posed some challenges.
The changing of the guard, one of Ottawa's popular summer attractions, helping boost Ottawa tourism numbers.
It's a really condensed capital city. The sights you want to see are all here.
It's been more than 4 decades since Alison Stacey visited from England with her husband. The closeness of the two nations has kept it high on their return list.
It's the architecture, the heritage, the link to Britain, the heads of the culture. Everything is acknowledged here. Your Indigenous population, your history, your modernity.
Ottawa Tourism says it's another strong summer, as 2025 was a record-breaking summer. July visitor numbers are up over last year, and August has started strong.
I'm going to look around, take the canal, maybe take a tour on the boats.
Blues Fest, Ironman, and museums. Ottawa has a lot to offer. Leisure travelers and conferences also help keep numbers through the season. The return of the Canada Strong Pass is also a contributor.
Ottawa benefits from that because of our federal attractions, the museum, the gallery, the discount. Ottawa Tourism's done a particularly good job as well with a visitor pass and various marketing activities to encourage the drive-in market.
We've never been before, and to check out Parliament and check the history, and the museums being free for children is a great promotion.
But for Lady Dive tours, the wet weather so far in August has set up some roadblocks, causing a dip in traffic. Still, they say May was one of their busiest, and they also saw more international visitors during the World Cup.
Sales has been pretty good compared to last summer, except for the month of August. But also we're in the middle, so we can't judge yet. But I'm pretty sure if it stays sunny like this, we'd be able to hit the same numbers as last year.
It's Canada's capital, so of course it's interesting.
Nice mixture of modern town and old town. So old buildings, the old Parliament Hill.
Ottawa Tourism says official numbers aren't in just yet, but say indicators show demand is up everywhere, from hotels to airport volume and initial numbers from several events too. Patricia.
And it looks like you had no problem finding some tourists out there today, Kimberly.
That's right. It was a busy day.
CTV's Kimberly Johnson live for us tonight. And still ahead, ready to rip out the bike lanes. An Ontario Court of Appeal has ruled the Premier is okay to get rid of 19 kilometres of protected lanes in Toronto, reversing a lower court decision last year. That story coming up. It's a beautiful day out there today as we take a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. 24 degrees. It was a little bit humid earlier. Then you saw the winds move in, but the sun is shining now, and Jackie is out in it for us tonight at the Russell Fair as promised. How are things there, Jackie?
Well, Patricia, Russell managed to avoid the rain. It's been sunny all day. Parts of Ottawa did see some light rain moving through. That included Canada. Elmer also included some light rain. Much of the severe weather was focused around the valley and including the Kingston-Brockville area. But for the remainder of the evening into tomorrow, we are anticipating clear skies. And this is good news as we head into the weekend, and good news for fairgoers who are heading to the Russell Fair or to many fairs and events that are happening this weekend. Now, right now, temperatures across eastern Ontario, 23, 24 degrees. Those humidity levels feeling closer to 27. It will be cooling down later this evening, so you are out here late for Russell Fair. It closes at 11. It will be quite cool. The overnight lows are 12 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, a daytime high anticipated 24 degrees and mainly sunny skies. A closer look at what we can see for the weekend. As mentioned, a mix of sun and cloud for our Saturday, but rain is in the forecast by the end of the weekend. We'll have those details for you in just a bit. And again, we'll have more from here at the Russell Fair, where, Patricia, there's lots going on and lots of fun to be had. Back to you in studio.
Well, some scary moments today at a popular swimming spot in the Rockcliffe Park area. An elderly woman pulled from the pond after she was found face down and unresponsive in the water. At around 12:45 this afternoon, emergency crews responded to a call at a body of water known as the Pond off of Pond Street in the Caldwell Carver Conservation Park. CTV's Kimberly Fowler joins us now with the latest on this. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, the conservation area includes McKay Lake and a smaller body of water called the pond that's next to it, and that's where the incident happened. Ottawa police say numerous people were in the water when the woman in her 80s was found. Bystanders and first responders performed CPR and were able to get the woman's pulse and breathing back up again. She was transported to hospital in very serious condition for further medical care. No other details have been released about the woman, who she was with, or her status after she was taken to hospital. Now, according to the City of Ottawa's website, public swimming is not allowed in McKay Lake, located next to the pond, but limited unsupervised swimming is permitted in the pond, and that's only between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. Patricia.
CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, a driver has died following a collision this morning east of Montebello. Officers with the Sûreté du Québec were called to a single vehicle crash on Route 148 around 10 a.m. Police say a vehicle traveling east left the roadway and crashed into a utility pole on the opposite shoulder. The driver was pronounced dead in hospital. A stretch of the highway between Côte-du-Franc and Chemin du Traversier was closed for the investigation. Speed is not believed to be a factor in the crash. Starting next week, drivers will be allowed to travel a little faster on certain sections of highways 416 and 417. The speed limit going from 100 kilometers an hour to 110 on several highways across Ontario. Starting next Friday, that will include on the 416 from 1.5 kilometers south of the 416-417 to Fallowfield Road, and on Highway 417 from Leitrim Road to the 174, and on the 417 from the Highway 416-417 interchange right through to Highway 7. The speed limit will also be bumped up to 110 kilometers an hour on Highway 7 between Appleton Side Road near Carleton Place and the 417. Ottawa paramedics say a woman in her 40s suffered a medical event before crashing her vehicle into the side of a bank in Riverside South yesterday night. This was the scene around 6 p.m. last evening at the Scotiabank on Earl Armstrong Road near River Road. Ottawa Fire Services Public Information Officer Nick DeFazio says the SUV was driven right through the front window. Paramedics say the driver was taken to hospital in stable condition. No one else was injured. There was no severe structural damage to the building. Police are investigating. A number of Conservative MPs are privately expressing concern about the leadership of Pierre Poilievre. Some caucus members have told CTV News they don't think Poilievre will still be party leader when the next federal election is called. The MPs were responding to questions about a recent Nanos poll commissioned by CTV News that found Prime Minister Mark Carney had no obvious challenger among Conservative politicians. Luigi Mangione pleaded guilty in a New York courtroom today to federal stalking charges in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione was charged by federal and state prosecutors with ambushing Thompson outside a New York City hotel in December 2024. The shooting turned Mangione into a public figure and ignited a firestorm of debate over the state of the health insurance industry in the U.S. Mangione's legal team is now seeking to have his separate New York State murder case thrown out. Mangione will be sentenced on December 18th and could spend the rest of his life in prison.
Really scary to know that the political whims and wishes of some might just completely impact the safety of others.
Still ahead, Ontario's top court rules bike lanes in Toronto can be removed. What does that decision mean for bike lanes elsewhere? Jackie.
So much, Patricia. We are on the merry-go-round right now, waving hello here. I've got Ben, I've got Ryder. You guys have been here since 1 o'clock. What is the favorite thing that you guys are doing here?
My favorite thing here is probably the Extreme or the Abu Ali ride. Yeah.
Ryder, yourself?
Probably the Sizzler and Avalanche.
Okay, amazing. We are here at Russell Fair for the full hour, but again, the fair taking place until 11 p.m. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, showcasing Sussex Drive, and it's going to be a cool 22 degrees.
Taking a look at the roads on our commute home on this Friday night. Things are moving fairly well out there. A quieter night of the week, typically on a Friday.
Well, Ontario's highest court has ruled in favor of the Ford government paving the way for bike lanes to be removed. The decision overturns an earlier ruling. Here's CTV's Beth McDonnell.
It's a legal decision delivering a major blow to cyclists.
It's disappointing to me as a cyclist. I depend on these bike lanes to keep me safe and to keep me moving.
Well, that really, really sucks. Can you say that? Yeah, no, that's not good.
Really scary to know that the political whims and wishes of some might just completely impact the safety of others.
The Ontario Court of Appeal unanimously ruling the provincial government has the lawmaking authority to require the removal of bike lanes. The decision follows a previous court ruling last summer citing a section of the charter that would put people at increased risk of harm or death if lanes along Yonge, University and Bloor were ripped out. Something has gone wrong, wrote Justice Grant Huscroft. The charter does not require the legislature to establish bicycle lanes. Thus, the Ontario legislature is as free to establish bicycle lanes as it is to remove them or authorize their removal. The charter has nothing to say about whether bicycle lanes are a good or a bad idea, wise or unwise policy. These judgments are no business of the courts. In a statement, the Minister of Transportation, Prabmeet Sarkaria, says, "Today's ruling is a victory for common sense. We've always been clear. Bike lanes should go where they make sense, on secondary roads, not at the expense of vehicle lanes on our busiest streets."
I mean, in one word, disappointed, I think really sums it up.
Cycle Toronto, which led the legal challenge against the government, says despite the appeal court's decision, it doesn't change the findings from the previous one, that lane removals would compromise safety and will not achieve the asserted goal to reduce traffic.
We intend to keep fighting this to the full extent of the law. This decision, it really is an affront to local democracy. These bike lanes aren't here because Cycle Toronto said to put them here. This is a result of the decision of city staff and city council voting in favor of them.
Along Bloor West and Etobicoke, bike lanes installed just a few years ago have been especially divisive. Some want them gone, citing congestion and declining business. Cody McRae is the founder of Balance on Bloor, made up of businesses, residents, and cyclists. He also started a petition to have Bloor West lanes removed and is running for a council seat.
We need to build a city that works for everyone, including its transportation network and even a cycling network. We fully support bike lanes when they're done properly, but this section of Bloor has just been an unmitigated disaster.
He calls the decision a win, but the debate over the lanes is not done yet. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
Well, there's still the possibility of a few showers this evening. It was quite a beautiful summer day here in the capital. Boaters in Manotick taking advantage of the calmer weather to cruise their way through the Long Island locks on the Rideau Canal. It was mostly a mix of sun and cloud today, a high of 24 degrees, and nice out at the Russell Fair, where I think, Jackie, it's back on solid ground now. Oh, there's that cotton candy we were talking about yesterday. I don't feel like that's making it back here to the station, Jackie.
I agree with you, Patricia. I don't think this will make it back to the station. We still have until 7 o'clock to hang out here. I've still got rides to venture out to, and it will be quite some time before I make it back to the studio for this evening. Taking a look at temperatures right now, you mentioned it yourself, 24 degrees is the current temperature. This is our daytime high for the day. You will want to bring a jacket, though. We've got northerly winds moving in, and the sundown is expected closer to 8 o'clock. Now, taking a closer look at what we can expect for the rest of the evening, clear skies as well. Nothing in terms of precipitation throughout eastern Ontario. This will carry on into the midnight hour, where we will see a little bit of cloud cover between Kingston and Brockville. But for the most part here in Ottawa, clear skies are in store. Now, tonight's lows, quite chilly in Bancroft, single digits at 9 degrees, 12 degrees in Kingston, Ottawa, Brockville, and Cornwall around 11 degrees, 13 in Montreal. Those at daytime highs, a little bit similar to what we saw today, but nothing for precipitation. That's the good news. You could leave the umbrella at home. 24, 25 degrees anticipated for eastern Ontario, and this stretch will continue for really much all of our Saturday. We did mention Sunday, though, where we could start to see some rain moving in. More on that in just a bit. Take a look at this from across the country right now. The rain falling in Fredericton and Halifax, where temperatures are 20 to 21 degrees. Quebec sitting around 21. Toronto 26, including Windsor as well. Things are warming up in the Midwest, but it's not enough to reach the prairies where temperatures are in the mid-teens. 14 in Calgary, 18 in Edmonton, and 19 in Saskatoon, but still 22 degrees and mainly sunny in Vancouver. Now, the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. Now, Saturday, mix of sun and cloud. Sunday, I know it says a 40% chance of showers. This is for most of the afternoon. In the evening, though, it will increase to 70% of chance of showers. So if you're having any plans for Sunday evening, you want to maybe adapt because the rain will continue perhaps into Monday morning. 25 for the anticipated daytime high, where Tuesday we will see the return of sunshine. 25 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. And that is it from us so far here at Russell Fair. What did you guys do so far here on the rides? Favorite ride?
They were fun, yeah.
You haven't gone yet? All right, they came here early, so they'll be hanging out. I'll leave you guys to do the rides here. Patricia's, we've got the merry-go-round done. Maybe the Ferris wheel. We'll do some games, but we'll take it back to you in studio.
Not dizzy, I hope. Looks like fun. Thanks, Jackie.
My diagnosis seems to carry more weight than the record I already built in uniform.
Well, just ahead, a military veteran is taking the armed forces to court, challenging a ban on new recruits who are living with HIV. And we have a new pop quiz online tonight. You can test your knowledge of the week's news. Take the quiz at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Canadian military veteran is taking the armed forces to court, challenging the constitutionality of policies that ban potential new recruits who are living with HIV. CTV's Rachel Aiello has the details.
JB, whose identity CTV News has agreed to protect, served in active duty with the Canadian Armed Forces for 13 years. 5 years in, he was diagnosed by a military doctor with HIV. He began taking medication and continued serving for 8 more years, including deploying on a peacekeeping mission to Mali in 2019.
Living with HIV never made me feel different from the colleagues that I was serving with.
But after a voluntary release to pursue other career opportunities, JB tried to rejoin as reservist in 2024 and was denied.
And I was shocked when I received the rejection letter.
That letter from the recruiting medical office explicitly cited his HIV status, stating that because of this, he did not meet the military's enrollment standards.
My diagnosis seems to carry more weight than the record I already built in uniform.
The 38-year-old is now taking the Canadian military to court, challenging the constitutionality of their policies that list HIV as grounds for disqualification.
To deny carte blanche folks who are living with HIV just because they're living with HIV, it's discrimination.
JB's lawyers argue applicants shouldn't be rejected based on outdated stigma. They hope the challenge will prompt the armed forces to re-examine their rules.
From our perspective, both the science, the logistics, and the operational concerns have been addressed by other NATO countries.
JB says he thinks this case could benefit all Canadians given the military's recruitment struggles, but hopes others living with HIV hear this message.
Don't let an HIV diagnosis convince you that you have less to offer your country.
CTV News asked both the Canadian Armed Forces and Defence Minister David McGuinty for comment on the court challenge and the policies at the centre of it. Neither responded by deadline. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Now, some other stories you need to know right now. The province says around 60 additional firefighters from Mexico are set to arrive over the next day or two to join teams battling a trio of wildfires in northern Ontario. This comes as 2 new fires were confirmed across northwestern Ontario on Thursday. 95 are burning there, 11 out of control. In the northeast, 2 new blazes were identified, although 1 is already out. 44 wildfires are burning across the region, 1 considered not under control. 2 beluga whales from Marineland in Niagara Falls have arrived at their new home in the U.S. The whales were part of the latest group to be moved out of Marineland on Wednesday. They were put in slings and loaded into tanks before heading to Pearson Airport and flown to the U.S. They arrived early yesterday at the Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta. The whales will eventually meet their new pod and be put on public display. 11 whales remain at Marineland, which has been closed to the public since 2024. There's a new home for the Come From Away production that was slated to be performed at the Meridian Theatres at Centrepoint next month. The show will go ahead at De La Salle High School in the Lower Town area. A new venue was needed after the theatre sustained flood damage in the July 1st storm. Refunds will be issued to anyone who had tickets to the show at the initial location, and tickets will be sold for the new venue as well. The show is set to run between September 10th and 19th. Canadian swimming sensation Summer McIntosh has won the 400-meter individual medley at the Pan Pacific Championships in California. It was a bounce-back performance for the 19-year-old after a runner-up finish in the 200-meter freestyle. McIntosh also helped Canada win bronze in the relay.
But you're in danger. You just have to trust me. Fine.
The newest Spider-Man movie is going for the three-peat at the weekend box office. Deadline reports Spider-Man Brand New Day is forecasted to add another $57 to $72 million US this weekend. That is expected to keep it in front of debuting sci-fi title The End of Oak Street, starring Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. Another movie starring Hathaway, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, is also looking to hold on to its spot in the top 3. We want to go back to Jackie now. A beautiful evening at the Russell Fair. Jackie?
Thanks so much, Patricia. Quite the crew we have collected here for the Russell Fair for its Friday evening. The sun is shining. People are already winning some prizes. But we always want to hit back to the core of what the Russell Fair is all about. And we have Murray Rowland here, and you are the past president of the Russell Agricultural Society.
That's right.
What does the Russell Fair mean to you? We're well over 160 years in this fair.
That's right, 167 years this year. We are all about agricultural education, so a signature event for us here at the fair is our education barn, where we teach people all about the education of agriculture in the past and of course in the future. And we like to do that. We bring people in with the rides, the entertainment we have. We have children's entertainment, adult entertainment. We have a demolition derby tomorrow night.
So much of this activities, but what we also explored earlier was there's a lot of fun animals. We met ponies, we met goats, we met alpacas. This is available to the public as part of the Midway and the entertainment.
Absolutely. We have incredible family entertainment here. Great price for a weekend. For the weekend, you can come and enjoy everything. Everything is included with your gate admission, except for the rides and the food, of course.
So 2 things I want to know, because we're wrapping up here. How much is admission, and how long does this last for?
So we are open 9 in the morning until midnight every day. Adult admission is $16. Kids 6 and under are free, and 6 to 12 is $6. So really great price for a family outing.
Thank you so much, Murray, and thank you guys. You want to say hello to everyone watching at home? All right, the fair runs until this Sunday. Again, lots of sunshine in store for this Saturday. We will take it back to you in studio. Patricia.
Looks like fun. Jackie, thank you.
Wood-fired ovens are great because they give you that sort of authentic, traditional crust and flavor.
Coming up on CTV News at 6, perfecting the backyard pizza. We take a look at which outdoor pizza ovens turn your homemade pie into a slice of perfection.
Get the latest live, local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Bear has time, looks into the end zone, intercepted Kelly.
The Ottawa Redblacks hope to end a desperate losing streak in Winnipeg tonight. Still looking for their first win of the season. The 0-8 Redblacks take on the Blue Bombers, who are 4-4. Coverage on TSN 1200 begins at 7 on TV. TSN's pregame show gets underway at 8. Well, pizza is a favorite meal for young and old alike. And if you like gourmet pizza, there's a new trend for backyard chefs. More people are investing in pizza ovens to give you authentic restaurant-style pizza you can make right at home. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
As a trained chef and pizza enthusiast, Paul Hope has spent years perfecting his pizzas. He says the latest outdoor pizza ovens can make pizza night at home much easier.
Pizza ovens are great for people who really like to cook and want to play around with different toppings and really perfect the process. They're not great if you just want a quick route to good pizza.
Consumer Reports evaluated 8 popular pizza ovens using the same store-bought dough, sauce, and cheese for consistency. 50 pizzas later, this solo stove model stood out among the competition, turning out great pizzas again and again. For smaller pizzas cooked with wood or charcoal, consider this Oni.
Wood-fired ovens are great because they give you that sort of authentic, traditional crust and flavor. But gas ovens in general were much easier to use and provided more consistent results.
No matter which oven you choose, these tips can help you create a great tasting pizza. First, get it hot. Preheat the oven for up to 30 minutes so it's at the optimal temperature for a perfectly crispy crust. Then, move quickly.
These ovens get really hot, and even 10 seconds can make a big difference in how the pie comes out. So you want to make sure you have everything ready before you start cooking.
Finally, practice makes perfect. Expect to make mistakes in the beginning, no matter which oven you choose.
Cook with it, get familiar with it, then throw a pizza party.
You may not use it as often as your barbecue, but a pizza oven could be a nice addition to your backyard space. Pat Foran, CTV News.
This is the first street circuit that we've been to that's fully repaved. I mean, it's like a brand new racetrack out there.
Well, next, a new home for Toronto's Indy car race north of the city. On Sunday, October 4th, take part in CHEO's RBC Race for the Kids. Be part of an unforgettable day as we come together to support CHEO's largest redevelopment campaign ever. Take on the 5K, 10K all-terrain, or 2K accessible family fun run at Wesley Clover Parks. Join the movement. Support a great cause. Register today. r4tk.cheofoundation.com.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
We have arrived at Friday evening. Time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Kicking it off today with the RBC Ottawa International, the world's top show jumping athletes are competing at Wesley Clover Parks through the weekend with Olympic talent, local vendors, food trucks, and of course plenty of action both in and out of the ring. Next up today is Ottawa Valley Busker Fest. The fun gets underway tonight in downtown Pembroke with sunset performances, fire shows, and a drone show before the festival continues tomorrow with incredible buskers, family activities, and free entertainment. Great if you want to take a little road trip for a lot of fun. Last on the list today is the Mayor's annual community barbecue. Head to the Richcraft Recreation Complex in Canada tomorrow for a free afternoon of food, treats, and family activities, all in support of the Canada Food Cupboard. So bring a non-perishable food donation if you can. As usual, lots more happening around Ottawa this weekend. Full lists and all the details can be found at ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, things are not off to the races at the Ontario Honda dealers Indy and Markham. Racers were supposed to hit the track today, but the event has been dealing with delays. CTV's John Musselman has been following the situation and has those details.
Race fans flocked to Markham today to see and hear the roar of the race cars, but what they got instead was an apology.
We got here at 9 a.m. That's when the races were supposed to start, but they haven't.
Delays in preparing the track meant there was no practice for the first 6 hours of the event. Fans sitting in the grandstands were left staring at an empty track.
They should have been more prepared for this. I don't know what the problem is, but look at all these people waiting here.
Finally, around 1:30, a PA announcer informed fans the track was not ready and no cars would be on it until it was deemed safe. A post on social media said, quote, "We apologize for today's on-track delay. Thank you for a great turnout for your Ontario Honda dealer presents Fan Free Friday. We hope to get race cars on the track soon when it is appropriate to do so." Fans who sat for hours in the sun expressed disappointment.
Well, I think they're having some track difficulties right now, so kind of hard to assess, really. But no, I think it's a good event so far. It's their first year. They're going to learn. Yeah.
This is the first time the Honda Indy has been held in Markham after relocating from Exhibition Place. Yesterday, Markham Mayor Frank Scarpetti said it was important to attract a large event to his city.
We need those big things because not just Markham, York Region, all of the GTA is going to continue to grow, and not everything can be in downtown Toronto.
This new 3.5-kilometer track runs around the Markham Centre. Despite the delays, fans we spoke to seem to like the new location and the setup.
I like that it's easy access. There's more space. There's more parking. There's more everything.
There's so much to see and do, lots of stuff for the kids. We've had a blast. They've met a couple drivers and a lot of people, great weather, can't complain.
I just want to see Alex Palau. I want to see him win.
But disappointment for fans got worse when the IndyCar Series put out a statement saying, quote, today's IndyCar practice session scheduled at 3:05 is on hold. Once the race promoter has completed the track build and IndyCar deems the circuit safe and appropriate for competition, the first on-track sessions of the weekend will begin.
John Musselman, CTV News.
See, there's a $2, $2, $2.
Well, coming up, 6 Ottawa siblings get busy baking, turning their summer into a sweet family business. Jackie.
Hello, CTV. Do it again. Hello, CTV.
This is Dougie here. He's going to be introducing the whack-a-mole instructions to all our fine people here at Russell Fair. We usually have to play on this side, but it's really fun seeing it from this perspective. All right, Dougie, count them down. Take it away.
Alrighty, racers, when I say go.
Alrighty, racers, when I say go.
And let's get a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. We are showcasing a Kaweki Point and the current, or Sussex Drive, I should say, and the current temperature is 24 degrees.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
With a laid-back vibe.
where foodies love their sweets
And markets bursting with flavor.
wrapped up in waterways.
And hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future,
Meets the past.
where people come together.
Always proud
Often loud.
and positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa.
Monday on Your Morning Ottawa, we introduce you to a local dentist providing free dental care to clients of the Ottawa Mission. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Well, we are going to head back to Jackie at the Russell Fair now for a final look.
Only $3,
Jackie?
$3 for a chance to win in the
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Now, again, later this evening, clear skies in store. It will cool down to about 12 degrees, but tomorrow's wake-up weather starting off at 15 degrees. Lots of sunshine. Wear the sunscreen, especially if you're going to be out in the fair all day. Now, taking a look at tomorrow, 7-day forecast. Mix of sun and cloud. Sunday, though, it does say a 40% chance of showers. It will likely be 70% chance by the time we get to the evening into the overnight. It's going to be a cool one, too. 20 degrees for Sunday, but things will start to warm up by Monday and Tuesday at 25 degrees for both Monday and Tuesday. Sunshine expected to return for Tuesday. Now, that is it from us here at CTV's at the Russell Fair.
You can't leave the fair without a bear.
I don't know if you heard that. I kind of love it. You cannot leave the fair without a bear. So we're going to keep this little blue bear, and we're going to head back to the station. What a great time at the Russell Fair. We'll take it back to you, Patricia, Kimberly.
Little blue bear.
Yeah.
That's a big blue bear. That would cost like $1,000 for me to win. Probably.
Yeah. Well, he's sitting at Jackie's desk all week.
Yeah, with the empty cotton candy holder as well. We want to check in and see what our news team is working on for tonight. Kimberly Fowler is here.
They're actually following some developing news that's happening right now of crash involving a pedestrian at Bronson Avenue and Renfrew Avenue late this afternoon. Just after 5:30, a man in his 60s taken to hospital after being struck in that crash. He was taken to the Ottawa Hospital Trauma trauma center with serious injuries. We'll have more information as it becomes available tonight. And the province says it's investing another $35 million to support long-term care residents with complex needs. Now, the money will go to the Local Priorities Fund launched by the Ford government back in 2022. So we'll have more tonight on how eligible facilities can use the funds for their specific needs. And you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. And join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Great, thank you, will do. And finally for us tonight, a family bake sale is becoming a sweet summer tradition in one Ottawa neighborhood.
We meet all these people in our neighborhood and all the places near us, and then we see them in the grocery store, we see them around, and we're like, oh, we know you, and it's just a lot of fun. Yes!
6 siblings set up shop almost every day on Kerr Avenue selling homemade treats, including cookies, brownies, muffins, and fresh challah rolls. The kids say they sell out quick, with the money going to help fund all of their summer fun, which is great. And then a portion also goes to the Torah Day School of Ottawa. So really nice that they're giving back as well, which probably incentivizes people to buy.
Exactly.
In addition to the fact that the baked goods look amazing.
Hey, you don't feel guilty when you're buying something that goes towards a good cause.
Right, exactly. Making pretty good money off that. So love it, love the initiative on their part as well. Beautiful out there today. I hope you have a very good weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.